Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. As you can see, I have another cover prepared for our next building in our Diagon Alley series. Got some brackets in place. We're just going to start building up the base, and today we're building broomsticks. It's a fairly basic build, really is just a wall. It's a curved wall in the movies, but I'm going to do this one at slightly of an angle just to make things a bit easier on myself, and so that I can store it away inside our book covers. If you're not familiar with the rest of this project, you can follow the links in the description below and at the end of this video. They will take you to a rundown of the full series where I recreate Lego's Diagon Alley so that it can be folded away and stored inside Hogwarts Moments book covers. So I'm going to just let this one largely speak for itself. It's really just building a couple of walls, as you can see here, because what I'd like to talk about is some of the recent releases from Lego regarding the Wizarding World and some possible things I think we can expect in the future. So, obviously the biggest new release coming September 1st, 2023 was the Gringotts Wizarding Bank. And, you know, it's a set that's got mixed opinions. People weren't sure about the mine layer and the vaults, but I think largely public reception has been good for the set in itself. But one of the things that struck me about the set was that rather than being based on the movies, it's actually based on the Gringotts Bank at, I believe it's the Orlando Wizarding World Resort. So as we can see when we look at the set, it's got this wall at the side, and in the side of the building there's also a secondary doorway, and these are both exactly as they appear in the Orlando Resort, but not as they appear in the movies. And this well, I suppose extension of the IP, not really an extension of the IP, but an extension in the source material that they're using to build sets, is quite interesting. So obviously, with the new HBO series being greenlit for Harry Potter, there's a very good chance that the castle we're all used to may well look very different. And there's a good chance that if it does extremely well, although it would have to do extremely well to do better than the films, we might see some new IP based on that. So I think Lego are going to be avoiding, in the near future, doing any kind of Hogwarts sets per se, giving them the opportunity to focus on the rest of the Wizarding World. Gonna finish the first wall and now moves on to the second wall. Diagon Alley is an obvious choice for a next sort of sub-theme, and we can see already with Weasley's Wizard Wheezes that a modular Diagon Alley is very possibly somewhere they're going to go to just keep us on track, so they don't have to start producing castle modules or builds again for the, what's this, fourth time now? Fifth possibly. So I think modular Diagon Alley is where we're going to go, and again, not necessarily based on the films, but the extended IP, including the theme parks, and indeed we've already got that with the Owl Post, because this is not a building that appeared in the movies, although it was mentioned in the books. Obviously, all the visual IP is based on the movies, but it does appear again at Orlando Wizarding World. You can see in these pictures the doors match. People seem confused when reviewing the set that you would open the door and there'd immediately be a blockage behind it, but that is exactly as it appears here in the resort. And I think this idea of extending the IP and possibly us getting visuals based more on the parks than on the films is a way they may go forward. And then if the new series is particularly popular, we might start seeing new castle elements based on that new interpretation of the original stories. It's all speculation, of course. I've got no inside knowledge. Nobody really knows where they're going to go. We've had a few set numbers released and set prices, and they all seem to be in a price range that would be similar to Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, possibly leading us to believe that more modular Diagon Alley sets are going to be coming out. So you can see I'm using a column of cylinders just held together with some flex tube and a 3 long bar just to fill in the gap on the angle, so that we get that vague approximation of the curve that you see in Broomstix. Got these extra little pieces. These are going to go up on top just to bring it up to a bit more of a height profile with Ollivanders, which this sits next to in Diagon Alley. Just to finish off that top bit, I'm going to have a little bat roosting up the top here. So now the build is largely complete. In a moment we're going to be having a look at how this all folds away inside the cover. And again, it's a fairly simple process. I'll be showing you pretty much in real time how quickly this one deploys from its covers, in stark contrast to a lot of my earlier builds. So while we watch Broomstix transform into its book version, what do you think? Let us know in the comments where you think the future of the Harry Potter Lego lies. Do you think we're likely to see a fully complete Diagon Alley? I mean, it needn't stop there. Diagon Alley, Nocturne Alley. There's still plenty of places they could go, and if they're basing it on their park IP, we might even get places that aren't seen in the movies. We may even get expansions to Hogsmeade, including the Hogshead Inn, the dress shop, which has completely escaped me, Madame Puddifoot's tea room, Gladrags, is that the one in Hogsmeade? I think so. But I mean, there's even places we've seen in the films that we haven't seen as sets, the Hogshead being a good example, as well as Zeno Lovegood's house and various other locations. I mean, there's plenty of the Ministry of Magic that they could explore. The Veil Room and the Hall of Prophecies being just two, they would make quite good play sets. And I think, bearing in mind that Lego was initially a toy for children, that they're going to mainly be going for the younger market. And I think the new Weasley's Wizard Wheezes show that that is probably the direction they're going to take. Most parents are unlikely to shell out £500 for a Diagon Alley, but they might shell out the same kind of amount over a period of time to get a full one. And I think they've shown that that idea works with the modular Hogwarts castle, and may be the direction they take in the future. So there we go, that's Broomstix finish. I've been rambling for quite long enough. I just want to show you these last couple of bits of luggage. Outside Broomstix you can see a couple of chests. This one's just made from a plate and a couple of hinges. We use them to represent latches on the front of the trunk, and then this one's just got a gold stud in between a couple of plates topped off with a tile. And then these will just stack up on top of one another and sit outside the shop just as they do in the film, like so. There we have it. There are more Diagon Alley builds to come in the next couple of weeks, and they're going to be culminating with my own take on Gringotts Wizarding Bank. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more Diagon Alley MOC builds, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.